Hello guys, and welcome to this quick lecture or quick tutorial just first to review how to choose the finish types of your preparation, the margins of your preparation. They need to have a nice design. And of course, those types of design of margins, they are related to the mechanical needs and the mechanical possibilities of your future crown, for example. Then if you are wearing more your tooth, so if you are reducing more your tooth, then you end up with more thickness of material but less thickness of teeth. So we need to decide this accordingly. Let's see how to do that. Very quick, very easy. So we have here the consequences if you don't do that, right? So that's why the topic of today is important. What happens if you have a misfit of your crown, so problems in the margin of your crown, lack of adaptation, then you might have plaque accumulation, and this will lead to secondary caries, pulpal infection, and periodontal diseases, of course. And then we also have the problems led by the cement, which can be from micro leakage, stress concentration, and even leading to debonding or fracture of your crown, of your restoration. And this leads to failure of your restoration. So the patient needs to come back. You need to redo your preparation, maybe correct the shape of your preparation, then another impression or another intraoral scan if you are doing digital workflow. Anyway, so we need to try to avoid this, and choosing the best margin for your preparation, it's a very nice way. So let's see. We have shoulders, of course, and take a look at this. Shoulders. Here you have more thickness of material. For those materials where we need more thickness, like zirconia, for example, you need thickness of material. So we are going to see in which cases we need that specifically. Rounded shoulder, this is very good for CAD/CAM because we still have some material, some nice thickness of material, but the angles are a little bit easier to mill in your milling machine. Okay, so for CAD/CAM is very good, the rounded shoulder. Then deep chamfer lines, for example, for posterior teeth for your single crowns, amazing stuff as well. And then vertical preps where you save most of the teeth, all right? So this is also very important. Let's see now these indications. Here you can also always pause the video to study if you want. The indications here for chamfer, and chamfer is usually done, especially deep chamfer in posterior teeth. Here we have just a schematic drawing of anterior tooth, but no, it doesn't matter. So standard approach for single unit ceramic restorations, okay? Especially high strength ceramics like monolithic zirconia. So distinct, well-defined margin for digital analog scanning. So that's very good. Those are advantages, okay, of chamfer finish line. And then superior internal adaptation characteristics, also very good. The disadvantage of chamfer finish line is that we have a risk of creating unsupported J margin or lip over if over prepared. So of course that's one of the possible disadvantages. Shoulder preparation, again, it's more common for anterior teeth nowadays, but here you have a schematic drawing of a posterior tooth. Again, all right. So anterior aesthetics requiring significant porcelain bulk or porcelain layer of material, or older generation glass ceramic systems. So why it's good? Because it provides maximum bulk for restorative material. So you have nice thickness of material, aiding structural integrity and color masking, of course. Sometimes you have a dark substrate, so now you need actually more thickness of zirconia, of your biomaterial. Wide unambiguous finish line, so that's also very good. All right, highly invasive because you are sacrificing more sound tooth structure. You have less tooth structure, that's why you have more thickness of your biomaterial, of your ceramic material. Sharp internal line angles act as critical stress concentrators. Of course, this is, look the stress here. All right, so this is not good also because it increases a little bit the chances of fracture. Although there are controversial results in the literature, but we can say that this is not ideal. Rounded shoulder is one option actually, and then it's very good for CAD/CAM, as I said. Let's see why. The advantages are that we have reduced internal stress compared, of course, to the normal 19-degree shoulder, the conventional shoulder, because here we have less stress then here, then a 90 degrees here, of course, right? That's 90. And then that's excellent for CAD/CAM because the geometry is easier and the best one for milling, of course. You need to avoid the corners to mill properly with your milling machine, which has the axis of the milling machine, and it will mill and so on. All right, then if you can spare the tooth structure, if you can save this tooth structure, then of course you have the vertical preparations, minimally invasive, okay? There are many crowns that are nowadays performed even without preparations, you know, depending on the case, but here you have maximum preservation of natural enamel teeth, excellent marginal seal, of course, and then difficult to read precisely on intraoral scans, risk of horizontal over-contouring, hard to mill, and of course there are also these characteristics described by the literature. So marginal gap, the vertical one was a little bit better according to this article. The article will be cited at the end of the video. And then the rounded shoulder was better for the internal adaptation. Let's see how. The chamfer, therefore, was the best one for internal adaptation. So chamfer was the best one. And this was statistically significant, okay? Statistically significant. That means that we do have a scientific evidence that chamfer finish line preparations have better internal adaptation than the other types of finish lines for preparations of crowns, okay? And then we have this amazing table here, all right, where you can compare all of them, right? So the primary indication, we already talked about this. We have the primary indication, the key advantage of all of them, disadvantage, you are going to consider this in your treatment plan, of course. Then marginal rank, meaning which are the best ones for marginal adaptation. And then the vertical one was the best one, but not statistically significant. Rounded shoulder is also very good. But then for internal adaptation, the deep chamfer or chamfer restorations were the best ones. All right. And then we have the clinical paradox here, marginal versus internal fits. Because why does poor internal adaptation often ruin a perfect marginal seal? So during cementation, the internal surface moves towards the axial wall. If the internal gap is too tight, premature contact occurs. You need to avoid that, of course, right? This obstructs the flow path of cement, driving the hydraulic pressure upward, which artificially widens the marginal gap. All right, so you end up with a bad marginal gap either way. So you need to avoid this. And then the solution would be hydrodynamics and cement space. So even in your CAD/CAM software, you can program your software to have a higher virtual cement space, so a predicted cement space. And then this can even compensate for some undercuts that you might have. And then you are going to have a better space for cementation and avoiding those problems, of course. Right? Final clinical recommendations. You can pause the video. Universal acceptability, because all of them are used, all of them are reasonably good, so acceptable clinically. The gold standard is chamfer when you want the best marginal adaptation, especially for posterior teeth. Conservation priority, that's also very important. You need to consider this. And space optimization, if needed, you can do that, because the perfect preparation geometry is useless without space. That's very important. Hope you guys liked. See you guys very soon.